Why is it amazing? And where do you find joy and gratitude through it?
It's amazing because, as I said, it's your journey. You're the only one that gets to make that journey with that individual. So, yeah, there may be other family members involved in the process. There may not. There are other caregivers, the health caregivers, that sort of thing involved in the process. But if you are the primary caregiver for that individual, it's your journey alone, really, because you're the one that experiences all the highs, all the lows, all the panic situations, all the health crisis. You're the one that's there for all of that. And you're also the one that's there for those days that are so beautiful. Those days that my mother would sit here on my porch with me and we'd drink a glass of wine and she'd look at the birds and the buzzards that fly out here, she always called them eagles. And she said, "Oh, I wish I could be up there with those birds." And, those moments of joy that you get with that person because you're so intimately involved with them, those moments of joy are yours alone. And nobody else is gonna understand all those moments because they weren't there. They weren't there, and they weren't there for that hospital stay that lasted 4 days, and they weren't there for that moment where where she had to be told she couldn't go back to her apartment, she had to give up her cat, and she turns to you and says, "Well, I didn't ask to get this old, it's okay." They weren't there for the moments that are to other people, those horribly embarrassing moments. Side note, little sidebar here, little funny story. We went to Target one day. My mother loved to shop. And so she gets in with those little electric carts, and I said, let's test it out. Make sure you know how to drive it. And I'm like walking behind her going, look out, look out. She turns down an aisle and she takes out the whole bra wall. The whole wall comes down. And she turned around and she says, oh, well, they'll clean it up. So nobody else was there for that but me. No, we laughed hysterically about it. No one else is there for those moments with that individual when you're caring for them but you, and that makes it an amazing journey. And when you get to the very end of that journey and you know they're dying and you see it coming, you're the one that's there to talk to them. You're the one that's there to hold their hand. You're the one my mother reached out to me at one point. My brothers had come to visit and they were leaving. And she reached out to me and grabbed me and pulled me over, and she could remember, her words were not coming out very well, and she leaned into my ear and she said, "Thank you." Those were her last words to me. That's my amazing journey, and I think for any caregiver, it's hard. It really sucks some days. I hope that's okay to use that word. You get angry, you get resentful, you get upset with your siblings. I mean, but it is an amazing journey. It is so incredible, and I am so grateful I got to do that. I regret none of it. Because I can't even begin to describe to someone the beauty of being on that journey with my mother to the end of her life.